Okay, guys, we're back. Sorry about that. Quick 10-minute picnic. Um, XSplit died, but we're back. These things happen. So that game that you saw was in progress. Obviously, Dale was able to win that with his handlock and beat the priest. So Dale has gone out to a commanding 2-0 lead here. He has to win 2 more games. And it's down to the warrior and the warlock of Ari. So let's talk first about the warrior matchup. How does warrior versus handlock shake out? It's not a matchup we've seen a huge amount since GVG came out, but it still kind of follows the same sort of rules as before. Hasn't unmuted his microphone, so that's fun. He's going to have to repeat the wisdom that he bestowed upon us.
All right, so I'm back, guys. Sorry for that. Handlock versus warrior. Originally, handlock was a good match. Like basically, handlock has an advantage versus warrior, and whenever warrior is facing handlock, he needs a couple of things. First, he needs removal for every minion that's being played. So if there is a giant, you need a BGH or you need a shield slam and have the mana. You need to execute. If you miss removal, you're just dead. Like the big minions kill you. But there's an aggressive strategy. Playing as a warrior super aggressively with weapons going to face and forcing Molten Giants and then pushing the brawl. And that's one of the ways in. But overall, it's a very tough matchup.
Yeah, we're going to get into this match and we'll see what Ari decides to go with, his warrior or his warlock.
HearthStats Champions League Season 1. Grand Finals. Dale CZ versus Airy.
Okay, so we can see that it says need to update the score. It's on the side, but we see the warrior of Ari against the handlock of Dale here. And what do you make of the opening hands from both players?
Oh man, I see the execute and I see the shield slam for Ari, so it's already a good starting hand. He also has an activator in form of a Taskmaster, so he won't be able to go a super aggressive route, but then he has the removal cards. And on the other hand, Dale, he doesn't have Mountain Giant, he doesn't have Twilight Drake, so basically he is not being able to be super aggressive. Can he even life tap this turn? Possibly.
He has to play something. I guess he could play something like a Sun Fury.
He can play a Sun Fury or a coin maybe without the play. Definitely want something to... You want to get those Mountain Giants. You want to get the Twilight Drakes to question the warrior. It's like being a handlock, you do ask a question. Twilight Drake, do you have an answer? Then you ask another question. Mountain Giant, do you have an answer? If there's... At some point, if warrior is like, I can't answer that, then you start winning from there. But that was the original matchup before GVG came. Right now, as we can see, there is Dr. Boom. There is Kel'Thuzad from Dale as well. So if Dale is able to stabilize with Belchers, maybe Boom, and then follow up with Kel'Thuzad, the only way to deal with that is Brawl. And that's before the Molten Giants. So I would say that Dale has an advantage here.
I like that Gromash has decided that he wants to take over from Gayrosh as the hero portrait here.
Yeah, he is his father.
Well, indeed, it's it's a serious match. This is for big money. I think I should be involved, but Gromash needs to wait his turn. I think one of the players is just mousing over the game here, which makes that there you go. So that's fixed now. We can actually see what's in hand. We do see Death's Bite. That's a card.
Yeah, that's a BGH and a Bomb Lobber as well.
I mean, Bomb Lobber would deal with this, but it feels like Bomb Lobber might be a good one to combo with things like Execute later on in the game with Giants.
I like Bomb Lobber here. I don't hate it. It's like you play Bomb Lobber, you clear the board, and you develop something to be able to start doing damage. But Dale actually picks up the Mountain Giant.
That's huge.
Well, there is the BGH, but then again, the warrior plays only one BGH. So if BGH is out of the way, there is still Dr. Boom, Molten Giant, like Straza as well in Dale's deck. That's I like how this deck seems to be really greedy, and I wonder what he did cut away. He's not playing Farseer. Like we haven't seen Farseer. He's playing Healbot, possibly double Healbot, maybe just one. Just
Yeah, I don't think we've seen two in the 2 games so far. I think we've only seen the one.
Yeah, and it will make sense to have Alexstrasza instead of Healbot, because you do heal with Alexstrasza as well.
Yeah, so BGH is going to come down here in this first Mountain Giant. No problem for Ari. He's going to be able to deal with it, get some damage in. And he has a Doctor Boom for turn 7, so there's a Sylvanas for Dale.
But Belcher is actually countering this board pretty well. With no weapons, Belcher is killing both of those minions. But then Ari does have the cards to help him. A double Armor Smith. I don't know. It's like with Shadow Flame, you always have to expect a Shadow Flame from Warlock, so you don't want to overextend. But then clearing the Belcher is pretty good.
Yep, so he's going to be able to go ahead and clear. And this is what you talked about. Being able to answer what the handlock puts out is absolutely crucial for the warrior here.
Let's count the damage quickly. 14 plus 23 points of damage. So Ari, because he has this Death Spite set up for Grommash, is actually going to win this game right now.
Yeah, actually, that's going to be it. Super aggressive from the warrior. Playing things like that, like...
Unless the bomb actually killed.
Yeah.
Well, that's 8 damage to drum, so that's really unlikely.
Go. Okay, so it's fine. Survives, and a really quick game after 2 pretty long ones from 2 control decks. I put an aggressive show. So Ari's going to take this back to 2-1 with his warrior deck, and now it's going to be the warrior, the priest, or the paladin of Dale.
Ari taking a piece of paper. That's a good habit of card game players. Like, you do have to note stuff, and it really helps to write stuff down. What have I seen from my opponent? What was played? How do the classes match? And those are exceptional players, and they know how to do that. So with the Warlock out of the way and Warrior, and we know that Ari actually took the series against Gara with the Warrior, so he knows how to play the deck. He just showed the skills with that. You probably, being Dale, you want to avoid the mirror match, because mirror match is really swingy. It's 50-50. Even though the decks are a bit different, I feel like Dale's playing more classic build with all Dom Lovers, and now he's playing the new one. I think you don't go for Warrior versus Warrior. You might bring Paladin.
Well, we are going to see what they're choosing here.
HearthStats Champions League Season 1. Grand Finals. Dale CZ versus Airy.
Okay, so it's the Paladin for Dale. Feels like a pretty good choice. Priest versus Warrior. I mean, no one wants to see that. He's doing us all a favor by not picking Priest. And obviously the Warrior mirror matches. You never want to pick into a mirror match, so...
Yeah, pretty good start for Dale. You want to be aggressive in this matchup. You do want to get removal done before... You basically want to force the brawl before you play Master for Battle and Quartermaster. Sometimes you can win this match very quickly if you go for Master and there is no possibility of removing the dudes from the Warrior. You buff them and you win. This will not be the case here because there is no Master for Battle for Dale. On the other hand, for Ari, there is a pretty good start with Fire Warx, Armor Smith, into... Well, there is a Harrison Jones which will be amazing versus those True Silver champions. But other than that, it seems like this matchup is more or less even right now with the cards from both sides.
Yeah, we're probably going to see... Do you think we'll see a coined out Harrison here?
I'm always on the fence with the Harrison against True Silver champion, because on one hand, it's great that you can remove that weapon and draw a card in the process. But at the back of your mind, there is this Master for Battle that can grant you 3 cards instead of 1. So, I wouldn't hate if he goes for Belcher as well. He was probably contemplating that as well. Just getting the Belcher, which stops the weapon, deals some damage, and then you keep the Harrison for Master for Battle. But there is no Master for Battle. There's a second True Silver that's going to deal easy. And Dale is just going to continue pressing with this shielded mini-bot.
The Sludge Belcher is going to stop some of that damage coming in.
Pilot the Shredder, really nice.
If he does want to go super aggressive, he could silence the Sludge Belcher here, but he does also have options for clearing it. There are some decisions to make for Dale here.
I don't think there is like a real reason to silence the Sludge Belcher. It is tempting because then you don't face the 1/2 token, but in reality, you want to silence. It's like you have to think like, how are you going to use the silence? And the first target I'm thinking is Acolyte of Pain, and you do have Acolyte of Pain in your hand, so it can remind you of the second Acolyte in Warrior's deck. So if you want to keep the silence for later, you can just develop a dude and play the Pilot to Shredder, kill the Belcher, and then just pass the turn.
I must move quickly.
He's thinking long and hard about this. That's I think my first long and hard of the day. He's gonna go ahead and just trade here and put the Pilot Shredder down. That's not too bad. So we got the Belcher body. But that does mean both True Silvers are out of the deck for Dale, and we saw in the other week when it was Ari on the Paladin that True Silver Champion is one of the few even remotely bursty things in the Paladin deck. So knowing those 2 True Silvers are out of the way is pretty good information for Ari.
Yeah, but on the other hand, for Dale, the information that Harrison Jones is out of the way is also very, very important. Right now, normally Dale will Ari will probably play the Shield Maiden, but with the appearance of the mech that I always forget how it's called. I know it's Omatic.
Whirling Zap-O-Matic.
Whirl Zap-O-Matic. Okay, Zap-O-Matic.
Yeah, just go with the Zap-O-Matic.
I would just go with a Zap mech. Or like... I need a name for it. It's a Sith mech, alright? Or is this one a Jedi?
This one is a Jedi.
This one is a Jedi. Jedi mech.
Yeah, let's go with Jedi mech or Sith mech or Star Wars mech, whatever you like.
Star Wars mech is nice.
Shield Maiden coming down, pretty important to start building up that armor. And it's not actually anything particularly attractive in the hand of Dale.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. You probably don't want to use equality here to clear. You can kind of like you can attack the 1/1, then use equality and trade, but there is no need. I think you just deal 6 damage to face and try to develop some kind of board. Like you can go for Mind Control Tech and Dude, or maybe Acolytes and Dude. You're probably happy because you're removing the armor, but then you don't have anything really beefy.
Yeah, there's nothing really huge to come down. Might see just an Acolyte of Pain and a Dude.
Yeah, that certainly is some kind of board you can get behind. Oh, the Quartermaster here is, I think, even better. Because you know that the Shield Maiden is going to kill that 3/2. Unless there is something else that that Ari can do, like a weapon.
And this is kind of awkward here, because do you kill the... So he goes for the Zap-O-Matic, but he doesn't... No respect for the second Quartermaster.
I think Zap-O-Matic is still dealing more damage. Because Zap-O-Matic is 6 damage, and second Quartermaster will just create a 5/5.
This is true. So we're going to see a Peacekeeper here.
Pretty nice pick, and is going to deal with this 5/3. Where Dale can just continue going for face. Maybe just trade. Still, like, he is aggressive. He dealt already 14 points of damage. Ari down to 16. how do you force the brawl?
Yeah, this is kind of difficult. There's really there's not really any hugely valuable, but brawl is coming down.
Yeah. This is the board you brawl. So this is a pretty good brawl for Ari. Whatever it survives, he kills it with a weapon. And he knows that Dale is like out of options. He only has 3 cards in hand. Sludge Belcher is pretty nice. It's a big card you can play. For Dale is also a very good information that Brawl is out of the way. Now he can play as many dudes as he wants and just continue going for face. If he gets a Quartermaster somewhere along the way, that will be very powerful.
Just to let you guys know, actually, after we finish this game here, we're going to show you the last couple of turns from the Paladin Handlock match that Ari was able to pick up the victory in. So we will bring the end turns that we saw, the pretty crazy end to that game. So we will bring you that at the conclusion of this game. Game 4, you're going to see the end of Game 3 that we missed on the stream.
Another Sludge Belcher, back-to-back Sludge Belcher is very great for Dale. He is able to continue putting pressure on board, protecting himself. Nothing to give armor to Ari there. He has a lot of removal cards, but well, as you said, the Paladin doesn't have that much burst. So right now it looks good for Ari. It seems like he stopped the Paladin onslaught, and he will be able to develop the board and get some advantage there.
There's an opposing Sludge Belcher coming in. That's pretty nice. Since Ari doesn't have really any options.
He's playing around Mind Control Tag, that's also pretty good. Second equality is like a blank.
Yeah, that's definitely a blank. He's looking for something else here. And neither has the big minions to really threaten the board. That's why this match is just so even.
Do you even play well, you do Silence Acolyte because Warrior has only 4 cards, and that's a very good target there. But on the other hand, you do play Dude. Do you play Mind Control Tag? You know, especially looking at this board, there is a slight possibility of passing the turn, but then you do want to play the Dude. If you pass the turn and not play the Dude, you're basically saying, hey, I have Mind Control Tag. But on the other hand, this board is only doing 5 damage next turn. Wow, Dale actually wants to play this Mind Control Tag and steal something.
How much confidence does it take? How much confidence does it take to just, at this point in a grand final, you know, we're deep into the game, how much gumption does it take to just completely pass the turn?
It takes a lot. It definitely takes a lot. And Ari is actually taking the bait. He is stepping into that trap. Is this trap going to pay off?
See how good the MC Tech is.
If he takes the Belcher, that's actually pretty huge.
Oh
my
huge!
god, he took the Belcher.
Oh my god,
that combo, that trap, that's it. And
no time for games.
Wow, I'm speechless. He actually set the trap. Ari got into that trap. He took the Belcher with a free Mind Control Tag, and now this board is totally flipped.
Oh my god, that is insane!
Yes.
Crazy luck from Dale on the MC Tech, getting the Sludge Belcher, the 25% chance, and then puts his own Sylvanas down as well.
Yeah, not to mention Sylvanas, which is a card he can actually play as well into this board with minions.
More cards, more armor coming out here. And Ari's actually almost up to full health.
Yeah, but to be honest, Ari has a lot of removal, a lot of armor. So he can start using this removal just to get... And he has his own Sylvanas as well.
Yeah, we're not going to see a repeat of game number 3 here. We're definitely going to see something very, very quick. Something less than quick, like we did in game number 3. We saw a very quick match in our last one. This is going to be another slow game, and it's going to be when these guys draw into their big threats.
Who do you think has an advantage overall? Like in the long run, who is favored right now?
It's so difficult to say. I think you have to look at the BGH. for Ari as being pretty important. The execute's pretty important. The execute, I guess, is probably better in the long run than equality. I think Ari just about has the advantage.
Let me think.
Like, Ari will have Alex Straza and Romash. We haven't seen Ragnaros. He has Bomb Lobbers. Is he running piloted shredders? And then Dale will have Tyrion, possibly Lay on Hands. Well, we've seen Lay on Hands. He has Lay on Hands. And he has a heal bot that will not change much, I feel. And Master for Bala and a Quartermaster somewhere there.
Doesn't take out the Sylvanas, just goes for face here. So Taskmaster, that's kind of a blank at this point as well.
Yeah, double execute that he can't really use in small minions. So Dale just needs to continue keeping the board alive, just getting those dudes up and trying to get a Quartermaster. Pyromancer equality is a full board clear. So if Ari somehow gets an advantage and develops a board with something big, Dale has the removal.
Yeah, that Pyromancer draw really, I think, changed the complexion of the hands. I did say, and there's a muster for battle. Interesting.
You can Pyromancer into Master for Battle for ultimate BM.
Oh my god.
Well, you do equality here. You do equality, kill Sylvanas. That's a good kill. Deal 5 damage to face. And I think you... do you develop... What's the weapon is Fire War Axe. Do you master? You don't have the quarter master yet.
I like mastering because it does give you that 1 damage from the weapon, and it does create a lot of targets and a pretty dangerous looking board for Dale. If you're sitting as Ari, and there aren't really any cards in opposition, there's 6 minions. He's hoping that he's gonna probably the 3-1 will eat the Fiery War Axe charge, but that's well. There's Gromash. So that's lethal. Gromash plus Cruel Taskmaster.
Wow. Okay, that was a good top deck.
The Gromash top deck seals it for Ari. And we're gonna level this series up with 2-2.
My God, what is happening, and why is this guy so good with Warrior deck?
Such another so cagey game. We saw it in games 1 and 2 as well. They were just going so back and forth. Game number 3 was the Warrior game that was very, very quick against the Handlock, but that was another slower game. So what we're gonna, before we get into game number 5 of this series, is completely balanced 2-2, with the Warrior and the Priest still up for Dale, and the Warrior and the Warlock still up for Ari. Those lineups are super interesting. What's effectively now a best of 3. So we're going to come back to that in just a second, but we are going to show you the final couple of turns from game number 2, which we weren't able to show on stream, which was the Paladin versus Handlock match. Dale on the Warlock against Ari on the Paladin, and we're just going to bring those turns to you now. But the board looking pretty scary from Ari now. Quartermaster coming out now, but I think there's a heal bot, there's a Jiraxis.
6 plus 4, that's 10, that's 11 points of damage. Can you play Jiraxis here?
I don't
That's
know.
the question.
It's so tough.
I wonder.
This is one of the great things about this format, is we're seeing matchups that we just never see in tournaments. When was the last time you saw Paladin versus Handlock?
Oh man, I think I saw it last year. Like, I haven't seen this matchup this year. It's like, it seems like everybody dropped Handlock.
Oh, how's that for damage? That's 4, 7, 11? Yeah, he's
That's
one off
one
lethal
damage
here.
off lethal. There is a heal bot.
Oh, there's a heal bot! Oh, the swings! That's
yeah, but
probably
he's a
enough.
taunt giver.
Yeah, I think he's used them all, hasn't he?
No, he used 2 of them. Sun Fury and Defender Varus. He
used 2 Defender. Oh, the Sun
my
Fury!
God, he actually got it. He got it.
Oh my god. I guess there's not many cards left in Dale's deck that he can draw, but he played both his Arguses, and one of the Sun Fury, so that was the only card in his deck that could save him here.
Sun Fury is the exact card he needed. Right now he's going to heal back and get those taunts, and he has Kel'Thuzad. 9 health, free attack. Is he going to kill one of the dudes just in case to prevent the second quartermaster?
I think you do that. You also do that because it means that the trades for Ari are more awkward with the 3/3.
Yeah.
So I think you do kill the 3/3 here. I think that's pretty important.
It's really tough to say what else he has in his deck, but that's really unexpected. If Dale actually survives for the next 2 turns, he's going to win with those Infernals.
Can we see how many cards are left in the decks, if possible? So 7 for Ari and 5 for... So it's actually quite close on cards. The graphics are a little bit deceptive. It makes it look like Ari's got way more cards. But Dale's only actually 2 cards ahead. He hasn't life tapped a huge amount in this match. And obviously the lay on hands as well.
Yeah, so Ari's going to fear the taunts and play this small shielded mini bot. That is still something that's important, but it's no way near a kill. So for now, Dale can actually develop this Kel'Thuzad, I believe.
If you don't play it now, then when? I think.
Yeah, you just play the Kel'Thuzad and play Infernal, kill the 2/2, attack phase with the weapon, and then next turn you will have at least 9 plus 2, that's 11. Yeah, that's exactly lethal next turn. So you set up lethal. Oh, that's even more than lethal, actually.
Yep, so here's the Infernal.
Free. Ari needs to top deck a second True Silver weapon. Or a Sludge Belcher to save himself. This is actually crazy. Like, if he top decks True Silver, he wins. If he doesn't top deck a True Silver, it will be hard to survive anyway.
So we've seen both Quartermasters. We've seen so much from these decks. The Kel'Thuzad's going to come down. So yeah, trade with the 2/2.
And you go for...
Yeah, he's actually going to trade and then go face.
You don't have to go face. Like, you can kill the 1/1 still in case of a Quartermaster, because you do win with the 6/6 and a 6/8.
Yeah. Aldor Peacekeeper, does that keep him alive?
I think it does, actually. 6, 9, 10, 12. Yes!
Yeah, that just keeps him alive. Oh, man.
That might give him another turn. This is crazy. If he would go for face, that will be over.
So it gives him another turn in which to draw True Silver.
Does Dale run Defender Vargas? Defender Vargas would seal this game.
Well, Dale's already used 2 Defender Vargas.
He used both. All right.
Yeah, he's used both. He's used both Sun Furies, so there's no Taunt Givers left in the deck. He's used 1 Antique Heal Bot.
What about Belchers? I think there are still Belchers in the deck.
There's an Ancient Watcher. That's a blank.
Watcher is a blank. Wow. So he dropped to 3. Can you clear without dying?
You can leave the mini bot up, I think.
But then Master for Battle is lethal as well.
Has he not used both his... I think he's used both his musters, though. There aren't many cards left in either deck. I think we.
Oh, he can actually kill the 1/1 as well.
Yeah.
And then set up for lethal next turn. So now the card that's lethal... Master is not lethal anymore. That was exceptionally played. True Silver is still lethal. Consecration was used already.
Yeah, we see both of them.
So now Ari needs the top deck. Is he going to top deck the True Silver? Even Sludge Belcher does... Well, Sludge Belcher matters a bit.
Everything on the board for Dale. And it's a blank.
That's a blank. Wow.
What a game here.
If I would tell you...
Okay. Okay, so that was the conclusion of game number 2. As you saw, Ari having nothing in hand, drawing a blank on those draws there, and Dale managing to close that out with the handlock, which was then, of course, defeated by the Warrior. And we've now seen Ari's Warrior take a Paladin as well. So we have basically a best of 3 now. These guys are two games apiece. Warrior and Priest for Dale versus Warrior and Warlock of Ari. And we're going to go in and see what Ari picks. What Dale picks.
The light shall bring victory.
HearthStats Champions League Season 1. Grand Finals. Dale CZ versus Airy.
All right, guys. So we are back to Priest versus Warrior. This is the most fascinating match in the history of Hearthstone. So all of you who hate aggro matches can be super happy about this fascinating match where both players are going to hero power path for the next 8 to 16 turns, trying to draw the whole deck and then fatigue their opponent, just going removal for the big cards. Is that right?
I don't want to do this anymore. Don't make me. This game was so bad yesterday, I disconnected my internet so I didn't have to cast it.
Yeah, basically the last time.
So we have the Priest of Dale, and Dale has shown that he is actually a very good Priest player. You know, and he knows the Priest deck very well. And Ari, I think Warrior has probably been his strongest class in this tournament so far. From all the games we've seen, he was very impressive with the Hunter yesterday, but we saw him. We didn't see him play it that much.
True. Well, obviously, this matchup can go either way. It can also, depending on what the priest does, it can be a bit faster. So one of the approaches to this match is like we've seen yesterday, Dale versus Amaz, where Amaz played the priest and Dale played the warrior, where Amaz was extremely passive going to the end game. That's one of the approaches to the game. But also having cards like Injured Blade Master and their cultists, you can try being more aggressive and trying to get that damage in, develop the board, and hope that there is not enough removal from the warrior to be able to counter your cards. Thought Steal is super important if there is a Thought Steal in your deck. If you're able to Thought Steal the bombs. Here, a pretty interesting play, Dale just passing the turn, not playing this Injured Blade Master, because he knows that a simple Fire War Axe can counter it, so he wants to have a bit of the wiggle room to be able to heal it.
Double Armor Smith for Ari. These Armor Smiths could be super important in this match as well, because the amount of armor that you get can really affect how the fatigue battle goes 30 turns from now. Yes, we are sitting here on turn 4 talking about how turn 30 is going to look. And that is what you have to do with this matchup.
Yeah, certainly that is this kind of matchup where you have to think about the whole matchup and getting all the cards in the end, going removal card for removal card. And as a priest, you just want to draw into those cards. A very intense, like I made fun about this matchup in the beginning, but still, this is a very intense matchup requiring a lot of skill and experience. You can definitely make a couple of mistakes here. Execute coming down this Injured Blade Master will be important. It means that there is only one more Execute in Ari's deck, so he will be he has to be careful about removal coming from this point.
Well, there's a Sludge Belcher in turn 5. That's certainly a pretty useful top deck for Dale here.
Yeah, that's a pretty good card. He didn't have anything else that's amazing here. Even though those Armor Smiths are not going to die to the Sludge Belcher, they are not going to attack, and he does contest them a bit.
Is there... so we're going to see the shield block. There's a Fiery War Axe, so he could actually clear the first... Oh, well, Shield Slam. I was going to say he could clear it with his Fiery War Axe, the first part of this this sludge, but this is absolutely perfect. Oh no, he's going to... Yeah, he is going to use the Fiery War Axe. Okay.
Shield Slam is a very important removal card, and using it on Sludge Belchers feels like a waste, especially because you used one Execute already.
Yeah, and you can get 4 extra armor. Oh, a second one. And you can even Power Word Shield it.
I think what you do... I don't think you smite the Armor Smith.
I must consider.
Fire Monster definitely seems like a play here, but developing a second Belcher, and you can clear, like you can play Belcher, you can attack one of the Armor Smiths with 1/2. You can kill the second Armor Smith with a smite, but you don't even have to do that. I like just developing Belcher and killing one of the Armor Smiths and passing after that. Or maybe even buffing the 1/2 token first.
So we're going to see Pyromancer Power Word Shield. A pretty staple clear of these early games for the priest. Does mean more armor though for Ari, 4 more.
46 points of health, 45. It's a lot.
It's a long way down if you're Dale.
So Dale decides to go for Pyromancer, clear, heal, and draw a card. That's actually pretty important. Instead of just developing Belcher and being passive, he was able to clear the board, draw a card, and establish the situation where he might be able to draw another card with this Northside Cleric. This increases the quality of the plays for the next couple of turns, where Ari is actually just developing Dr. Boom here, deciding not to attack with the weapon.
There's a Cabal Shadow Priest. That's it. That's going to be interesting for the bombs. He actually has a chance to clear Ari's whole board here. If he steals one of the bombs, runs it into the other one, and then hopefully gets some damage on the 7/7. He's got a 1 in 2 chance, and then he should be able to clear with what's left on the board. Hopefully, as little of what's on the board as possible. Does have Smite as well.
Yeah, I basically like stealing the bomb, trying to get a chance of dealing damage to the boom. You do have the Holy Smite as well. That's unfortunate.
You could run the Pyromancer here and then run it in, and then you don't have enough mana to Holy Nova and Smite. I definitely like the Cabal Shadow Priest play better here. But he opts for the Sludge Belcher instead.
Good news for Dale is that Ari has only 4 cards in his hand. He has the Acolyte of Pain, but he doesn't have a way to draw more cards from the Acolyte. Acolyte will be a key card here. It is a control versus control matchup, so right now board is important for let's say for our viewing pleasure. But overall, it's about cards. Like, who has the cards on turn 10? Who is able to trade, like, to play Shadow or Death into that big minion, or execute the big minion on the other hand? So for now, it's like trying to set up an advantage on the board. But other than that, it will be all about the card numbers at the end of the game.
Shield Slam on the Pyromancer. That's interesting. We're just going to see Armor plus Acolyte here. Still so much life for Ari. He's doing some maths, you can see, as he bounces back and forward in his chair. Very relaxed looking from Ari. Dale just kind of doesn't necessarily look relaxed, but he looks calm and not like anything's really phasing him at this point. So both players keeping it together pretty well.
Dale has an opportunity to steal this Acolyte of Pain and ultimately deny the draw for Ari. Ari with only 3 cards in hand, stealing this Acolyte will be huge. But then he will have to leave the Dr. Boom alive, which is troublesome a bit.
Does have Organized Circle as well.
I must consider.
With Organized Circle, he is...
Oh. Don't know what's happening with Hearthstone here, guys. We've got a little technical problem again. We're going to jump back out and just jump back into the game. I don't know what's going on. Hearthstone doesn't like you spectating for too long. Says, no, you should be playing, not watching. You should be playing and buying cards and spending money rather than watching other people spend money.
It's probably the Innkeeper. Innkeeper is just kicking you out of the inn. You're like, you're not buying anything. Come on,
exactly.
You're not buying any boosters.
If you just went into a pub and tried to sit down and just hang out for a couple hours, they'd be like, "Hey, what are you doing? You're not buying a drink." You'd be like, "No, I'm just watching other people enjoying their drinks." It's not how it works. It's not how it works.
That would be pretty cool. Just going to the pubs and watch people drink.
I don't drink. It's just a spectator sport for me.
Yeah. All right. So we've seen the Alkanite circle. Then we see Alkanite being catched with the circle. Alex Strauss is getting dropped. A pretty good read from Ari. There was no... Oh, Ragnar's for 0. That's pretty good. But...
So there's a... Ragnar was coming to hand for Dale. I'll just jump out and go back into this here. Just getting this... want to get this right?
Yeah. Also, like, a good read for Ari because there was no Shower of Death on Dr. Boom, so you can assume that if your opponent is taking trouble and clearing the Boom with Organized Circle, you can follow up with Alex Strauss. Basically, just continue asking questions with big minions. We can see that Ragnaros, Dale's still trying to figure out what's the best course of action here. He is at 15. So if Ragnaros misses,
this is a pretty big. And he, oh, it's so. This is one of those things where it's so bad for Dale because if he was going second, he'd be able to. Sorry, if he was going first, he'd be able to mind control the Alexstrasza. He's actually. What's he doing here? Smite and Holy Nova. Oh, that's a lot of resources committed to this Alexstrasza, but I guess he doesn't want to take the 50-50. And I can't say I blame him too much.
Well, he also positioning himself to clear the board, and he has this mind control. So whatever big is being dropped, he can steal it, and he knows that. But then again, if he casts mind control, and if there is Grommash, he's just dead. And that was the case last time. Is he going to just cast his mind control and take his chances? He might be forced to. Like, whatever happens, he might be forced to do it anyway and just close his eyes and hope that there is no Grommash.
I must consider.
I like how Ari is super aggressive with this warrior deck. Even though he doesn't have Grommash right now, he put himself in a position where a Grommash top deck will finish the game.
Yeah, well, he's going to go for the Ragnaros here. And actually, for once, we may not see a warrior priest game last that long. Because Dale's already pretty low on health. Where's Ragnaros?
So Ragnaros... Yeah, Dale was probably devastated because he played Ragnaros to play around Grommash. If Ragnaros would hit the 5-5, then Grommash is not killing him. But here, just doing the damage, using the armor is not doing anything. And this board is really scary for Dale.
Yeah. Because he's dead, Grommash or not. There's Sylvanas, but the only option for Dale here is mind control.
Well, possibly he can steal...
Oh, he can steal with Shrinkmeister, yeah.
And then he is still not dead because he can heal himself up to 12.
You can either mind control, or he can use the Shrinkmeister and the Cabal and heal. But neither of those are great plays.
Yeah, you do realize you're still dead to Grommash. And Ari is like, he doesn't even need Grommash. If this happens and Dale is going for the Cabal Shadow Priest play and a steal, Ari can just go face. Just attack for 9, deal damage, clear whatever is left with the Whirlwind, and just continue attacking Dale with the weapons.
Yeah, he has so many weapons in hand that he just needs to pop these off as quickly as possible. He's going to use the Whirlwind to clear. Very efficient. Yeah, so we're going to see another weapon go up. Harrison Jones. Actually, we're not going to see the weapon. We're going to see armor. Plus Harrison. We might see Fiery War Axe.
There is no point in playing Fiery War Axe because there is a chance for Harrison Jones. Dr. Boom, a pretty good card, but it definitely too late. Right now, Dale is dead.
Yep, that's going to be it, unfortunately. Mind Control doesn't save him. Well, actually, it does save him because you can run them into each other.
No, it doesn't have charge.
Oh, of course, yeah. Oh, and there's Grommash, so yeah, it's definitely over. So that's going to be Ari going up 3-2. Ari is 1 game away from being the HearthStats champion. And it's going to be a warrior mirror match.
That's tough and amazing at the same time because Ari is doing it again. Like, he was down 2 games, he took the warrior, and he is winning with the warrior. Already 2 games up. Well, actually, he is 3-0 with the warrior for now. He won. Yeah, he actually won 3 games with this warrior. So he did exactly the same thing as he did versus Gara.
So he's currently 6-0 with his warrior deck, but we're going to go into this warrior mirror match, which could well be the final match of HearthStats Season 1.
HearthStats Champions League Season 1. Grand Finals. Dale CZ versus Airy.
Warrior versus warrior. The ultimate duel.
Wow, we see a lot of weapons already. We see double Deathspite and War Axe for Dale, and 1 War Axe and 1 Deathspite for Ari. So, Nimsh, what's your professional assessment here of what cards are absolutely crucial in the Warrior Mirror match?
So, You have it's really similar to Priest versus Warrior because you have two ways to win the game. You can go into fatigue match, so basically armor up every turn, try to build up as much armor as possible, and then by the end of the game, or around like turn 10, turn 13, you start playing minions and try to get an advantage, try to get an edge, and then it's more about like big minions removal on both sides, and whoever ends up with that. Harrison Jones is important as well. Sometimes you can lock Harrison Jones by playing a weapon, because your opponent won't be able to play Harrison. He won't have to play Harrison because of the card draw. Like at some point you don't want to play Harrison because you don't want to draw cards. The other approach to this game is to be very aggressive, especially if you have a lot of weapons. Limit the armor, play the Alex Strauss as soon as possible, try to win with the combo. Dr. Boom will be very important in this matchup. Whoever develops Dr. Boom that is unanswered will get an edge.
Well, we can already see that there are lots of weapons at hand for Dale and Alex Straza, so actually we could see the kind of strategy that you suggested, just very, very aggressive with weapons and Alex Straza as soon as possible.
Certainly he can be aggressive there. We don't see any bombs aside from Alex Straza, and you can also play Alex Straza like a vanilla card. You do want to follow up with Gramash with the combo.
Did we see Silence in the Warrior deck of Ari already, or is that?
No, I haven't seen Silence in Ari's deck. We only seen Silence in Dale's.
Yes, we see the Spellbreaker there. That, you know, these little differences are the cards that are really going to make the difference in this matchup potentially.
Ari is running Bomb Lobbers, where Dale is running more of a traditional build.
So top deck Shield Maiden for Dale. That maybe feels good, but there's also no real way through this deck here, this board here for Dale. That if you were to run the Deathspite in, he would kill his Armorsmith and give Ori another card off the Acolyte, so that doesn't feel good.
You might consider silencing the Acolyte as well, because card draw is important. But on the other, it's a tough call, because on one hand you do want to fatigue your opponent, on the other hand you don't want to give him more cards
to kill you quicker.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to go ahead and do it, and he's just going to play the Shield and develop his armor.
Job's done.
There's the Bomb Lobber.
Bomb Lobber will be pretty important. I think Ari is really aggressive. He reminds me of Firebat. He is playing... he likes having an edge with and dealing damage, doing the temple plays.
Yeah, and it looks like we might... Yeah, we're going to see the Bomb Lobber here. Like you say, the temple play. Bomb Lobber just so crucial in matchups like this, where you can clear off a minion and get a body on board. And these little bodies, this is the sort of approach we saw from Ari in the handlock game, is using his minion activated removal rather than just the removal spells, was able to build up damage on board and build up a board presence really quickly.
Yeah, certainly it helps with the matchup. And wow, a Dr. Boom on turn 7, that's so huge. Especially if you have minions on board already.
It is, but do you think we maybe see the second Bomb Lobber here to clear the Sludge Belcher instead?
He certainly can do that. Like, one of the important things right now, and Harrison Jones on top of that.
But he's actually, yeah, he's just gonna trade for the first part and then boom.
Yeah, Boom is such an important card. Also, it does state a question. Do you have the BGH? Can you remove this Boom? And as a matter of fact, right now, Brawl is the only way to remove the Boom. There is no Shield Slam. I guess he can still fish for the Shield Slam. He gets an Execute. Wow, that's actually the card he needed. He can remove the Boom.
That's huge.
What I want to point out also is that Dale has a lot of weapons, and Ari kind of forced Dale to trade with those weapons, and whenever Dale is trading, he's losing durability, and he is paying with his health. So instead of going for face and chipping an armor, he is losing his own armor with those weapons.
And this is a perfect example of that. Having to kill the bombs with a Fiery War Axe charge just shreds your armor way more than you want to. Double shield block for Ari in hand. This is kind of a perfect turn for... Oh, there's Gromash. It's going to be such a huge card later on, but We could see Ari actually just gain 12 armor this turn and 2 cards.
Yeah, Ari is fishing for Alexstrasza. He has Death Spite, he has Grommash, so he has all the means. He just needs the minions to be able to play them.
That's nearly
and he has
50
card
life.
advantage. Yeah. Basically, for now, Ari has everything except for Alexstrasza. He has a lot of health. He has the cards. He has removal.
That while we're going off on tangents, since this is going to be quite a long match, we need things to talk about. The Shield Maiden animation kind of annoys me, and the way the waves come out of the top of the card, when actually it shouldn't it be coming towards you because it's giving you the armor. The waves out the way make it look like it's doing an effect to your opponent or your opponent's side of the board. Just something that annoys me.
You think it should be updated?
I think the animation should be flipped, so the waves come back the other way, so it's giving you the armor. But these are just the things that us OCD people about animations and things like that have to deal with.
I think that makes a lot of sense. You can actually post on Blizzard forums that you would like to ask them to change it.
I think I should post it on Reddit and moan about it. And also, while you're at it, fix Warsong Commander. Because...
Well, Ben Broad said yes.
He did. That's true. That's a card we won't see in this match, Warsong Commander, which has been bugged since GVG came out. And they still didn't manage to fix it. But there you go.
Alright, so back to the match. No point in playing
we're just going on these tangents because this is going to be such a long game. We're going to run out of things to say.
Well, if Ari is able to develop the board, and Harrison Jones and Savannah is definitely helping with that, the game might be over sooner than you think. Dale's also more or less out of removal cards. He still has his Death Spite, but he will have to probably use it to kill Harrison. Well, got a Shield Slam, so not really.
Yeah, there's certainly options for Dale. The Shield Slam is a pretty good pickup, and he's probably going to use that on the Harrison here.
He can also use the Death Spite. It's like, it really just shows Shield Slam is very important as a removal card, and you can remove something bigger with it, like let's say Ragnaros, maybe Grommash that's enraged. And Death Spite into Harrison actually sets up the board in your favor.
And there's another Death Spite coming to hand for Ari. What does he have here?
Death Spites in this game.
Yeah. There's a Sylvanas in hand for Ari. But is he just gonna... He's gonna Hero Power Pass. There we go, guys. He did attack face with a weapon as well, but that's our first Hero Power Pass of the day.
I think that was a misclick. Attacking face with a weapon.
Well, he just doesn't know how... he's not experienced. He doesn't know that Hero Power Pass is obviously the best play in the game. And we're going to see the Alexstrasza come down here for Dale, not with the impact he would like with that 16 armor up. But the BGH in hand for Ari is going to be pretty crushing.
How does it feel? You play Alexstrasza, which is normally supposed to get your opponent to 15. And after playing Alexstrasza, your opponent still has like more than 30 health.
More than full health. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I just dealt 15 damage to you. Why do you still have 31?
Actually, this is getting pretty dangerous here. There's 19 damage available for Ari.
Dale doesn't have anything that's going to put pressure on board. He can use the slam. Doesn't seem like a good option. I think Taskmaster into the BGH after the weapon attack and then develop your Sludge Belcher. Like, he needs to develop some kind of a board.
Yeah.
He needs to play some minions.
So he needs to be, the Sludge Belcher is going to be pretty crucial because he has to know that there's a lot of damage incoming. But this is when we can see Ari probably start to use things like those Shield Slams because he is starting to smell blood. And there's that Alexstrasza, that really crucial Alexstrasza.
Alexstrasza is the more even crucial because right now Ari can remove this Belcher with his weapon. And just developing an 8/8 would be very troublesome for Dale to deal with. He can deal with it with the cards he has in hand, but that's just spending most of the cards you have.
What do you think about Brawl here?
That is a possibility. Because
It's
if he
it's the
doesn't
most
brawl,
efficient way.
yeah. But if he doesn't brawl, he has to slam Alexstrasza, then see what he gets, and if he gets something bad, armor up and attack with
Double shield slam.
master.
Well, there's an armor smith, so if he brawls now, the armor smith's gonna win, right? That's kick cancel all.
Yeah, but at this point you do use the shield slam,
Yeah.
especially
the
with so
armor
many cards on Ari's hand.
Yeah, so there's a shield slam. The Alexstrasza is going to go down, but there's an execute. So double execute, double shield slam in hand for Ari. You know, we did see he wants to keep those premium removals, but when does he start just throwing these out here and clearing out the board?
That's a very good question. He has the removal. He needs to set up people. Dale doesn't have any possibility to draw cards. He has 3 cards. Spellbreaker will be important versus Sylvanas. He will be able to Spellbreaker and Shield Slam. Shredder is a nice pickup.
Yeah, that feels like a really good turn actually there from Dale. We talked about how he needs to develop a board, so we're going to get the Spellbreaker, probably the Shredder and the Shield Slam, but it does leave him with nothing but Brawl in hand.
Wow, look at that. They actually used the Shield Slam, and he had armor. What do you think about that?
Well, you know, he's showing improvement. And here we're gonna see a brawl.
There's a brawl incoming.
That's so horrible for Dale because and Ari knows that Dale's just committed everything. That's not too bad because he does get the Shredder minion and keeps a 4/3.
So the problem that Ari is facing now using the weapon is that he won't have an... Oh, he has a Whirlwind still for Grommash.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say that there is no activator for Grommash, but there is actually. Do you execute?
I was just going to say that. Oh, there's a Ragnaros.
Wow, Ragnaros is actually amazing because he will be able to make the shield slams.
Yeah, it's going to have to be shield. It's going to have to be shield slam execute. And actually, now Ari's health is well below where Dale's is. But we're probably going to see armor up shields. Oh.
Whirlwind execute.
Yep, Whirlwind
and
execute.
Especially after seeing all the removal cards, you can risk it. And Ari again showing his aggression and his courage, where he doesn't care. Like there's only one card. What's the worst thing that can happen?
Oh, there's Dr. Boom.
Dr. Boom is kind of like a blank, but it isn't because Ari is short from being lethal, and Dr. Boom is actually not a blank with those 2 bombs.
Oh, Shield Maiden.
Wow, Shield Maiden. That's top deck. He can remove... Now all the Shield Slams are actually important. And he escapes the range.
Holding on to the Shield Slam execute. Absolutely crucial. He's going to be able to take out the 7/7. And this feels like this game is swinging away from Dale. Ari holding on to that premium removal for the right turns. You can see... I think Ari starts to realize that this is about to become real. Dale sit back in his chair a little bit.
Defender of Argus, the MVP card. Is this the last card that Dale is going to draw? Right now, he can actually go for the Brawl. Attack face. Brawl. And...
Do you Argus before you Brawl just to improve your chances?
Oh man, that's tough. Well, you can deal 4 damage there. You've seen 1 Fireworks, you've seen double Death Spite. The only card that kills you is
I think you've seen double
Fireworks.
Fireworks, right?
I'm not sure if he used to. I think he used 1.
We've seen so many weapons.
Yeah. we basically have seen double, like quadruple Death Spite this game.
Yeah, so he's going to go with the Defender just for as much damage in on face and the better chance with the Brawl. And this is it for the game.
He actually doesn't brawl.
Oh, it doesn't Brawl.
He doesn't brawl. That's game, I believe. Yeah, that's game.
Yeah, that's game. So the Shield Slam is going to come in. He's going to clear. And that is going to be it. Ari is going to be your HearthStats Champions League champion. Season 1. Coming all the way from the Grinders League through the Challengers League to defeat Dale 4-2 in the final. Wow. We have a champion.
That Warrior deck. Amazing play for both players. And Dale...
10-0. 10-0 with the Warrior deck.
Yeah, that's the score that the champion has. Like, if somebody goes 10-0 with a warrior, he wins the tournament. This is how you win tournaments.
And we're gonna get Ari on the line here for a quick winners interview, and we're gonna talk to him about that game and about how it feels to be $3,000 richer. I mean, if you're a guy like Ari who's been a practice partner of Firebat, has seen him go on to great success and seen your other friends go on to success, how does it feel to finally win that first tournament?
Well, I think it's an amazing feeling because winning a tournament is an amazing feeling. It's like, it's really, for the first time, the first tournament you win, it's a bit weird because every round you think, all right, there is this one guy I have to win against. There is this one guy I have to win against, and then you end up winning the final, and you're like, where are the guys? Like, who is my next opponent? And apparently, there's no one else. You are the only one standing. You are the champion. So I think it feels great. Like, after the confusion is out, it feels great.
And talk about that a little bit, because your first tournament win was the last year's IEM Katowice. And how did that feel to finally just get some recognition after you'd been in a couple of other tournaments? You'd been around the scene. How did it feel to get that first title?
Well, actually, because I had a lot of WoW TCG experiences, like the worldwide experiences. IEM Katowice was like, it was my first big Hearthstone win. Well, actually, I've won a couple of Hearthstone tournaments before, but still, like, winning any tournament is great. It's a great feeling. But winning the first big event is actually amazing. I remember, like, back in the day, I won a 200 people tournament in Poznan for WoW TCG, and that feeling was great. It was really like not having any more opponents and being the last player standing. Was
well, enough about you, Nimsh. Enough about you, because we have to talk to our champion. Ari, first of all, congratulations. And I guess the first question has to be, how does it feel to be $3,000 richer?
It feels great.
Any more descriptors for us? Just great?
Yeah, it's pretty like phenomenal how I went through like a 288-man qualifier into like round of 40, round of 24, playoffs, like group stages, just so many people just to get to the finals.
So the question I have for you after achieving this victory and having your big major win, do you plan or like make this your profession? Like, do you think going all in Hearthstone and trying to find a professional team? Are you looking for professional teams and trying to make it your career?
Yeah, definitely. I'll try to find a team, and I'll try to get to streaming also, and just like try to get my name out there even more.
Well, if you need an agent, I can book you out. That we can work that, and I can take it, and we can talk about my fee later. But let's talk about that warrior deck there, which really carried you to victory today. We'd seen you play a lot of different decks all through the tournament, but today, in fact, you won 3 games with it in the semi-final, and then 4 games with it in the final. So you actually didn't win with a deck other than your warrior deck today.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised myself too. But I don't know. Warrior's just pretty solid. The removal is pretty versatile, and it can deal with like any board with like brawl and all that stuff.
And you've been playing the deck really aggressively. Is it like your inner style? It kind of reminds me of Firebat as well. Just going for face whenever you have an opportunity and positioning yourself well.
Because the deck is a little bit like faster and doesn't have as much late game. So when I went into the warrior mirror, I mean, I kind of had to play aggressive. Otherwise, I would just fall off later. Because I don't have threats like Galthazad or like Ragnaros, and have like bomb offers instead.
Talk about how these matchups shaped up for you, because this was a pretty interesting series. Obviously, the handlock in the first couple of games really put you on the back foot, losing those first 2 games with the handlock. You went into that Paladin game, which was so close. Those first 2 games were just really, really close, and you came out on the losing end of both of them. How did it feel? Just having those chances to you could have taken either of those games, but coming out on the losing side. How did you manage to keep yourself on focus?
The Paladin game was definitely like a really big letdown at the very end. He top decked Sun Fury to save him, but after that, I wanted to save my Warlock deck for last because I thought it had the best chance to counter sweep. So I was just trying to get as many wins with Warrior as I could, and I managed to kill him pretty fast in the handlock game, which was really important.
How did you feel about the handlock versus Warrior? Do you think this is a bad matchup for the Warrior, for your build, or do you feel confident in that matchup?
It can definitely be hard if he manages to clear the board every single turn and have Draxes out when I don't have Harrison, and just the Infernos will just slowly chip me down. But I got pretty lucky with the Death Fight into Grom on 8, and I think that was the biggest matchup, because otherwise I don't think I would have a chance to win if I didn't win that matchup right there.
Well, Ari, thank you so much for playing the tournament. Congratulations once again on being our champion. Before we get out of here, is there anyone you want to thank? Any practice partners, friends, family, dogs, goldfish?
Yeah,
the floor is yours.
All my practice partners, Raccoon and Axtius, Chance, Firebat, just Tom, Fleur, just all of those people helping me practice and build decks.
Great. Ari, congratulations once again, and we'll let you go and celebrate your win in whatever way you want to do that, and then we'll come back and close out this tournament a little bit. I think Nish, it's things are winding down. We've had so many games over the past week and so many games over the Grinders and the Challengers League as well. We've got so many people to thank. We want to thank Kinguin for their support this weekend as well. Make sure you check out the final day of the Kinguin tournament tomorrow, starting at 11 a.m. EST. So their semifinals and finals are happening tomorrow. I believe it's Savige, Lothar, Life Coach, and Tice, I believe, are in the semifinals of that.
That's a pretty stacked lineup.
I would have to check. I know it's 3 from Team Nihilum. I can check. It is it's RDU, Lothar, Savige, and Life Coach. So that's your stacked semifinals there for that. They've been really supportive of us, hosting us when they've finished the past 2 days. So, please go do check them out. Congratulations to all the players who played over the last couple of days, and of course over the whole week. But the games you and I have casted these past 2 days, Nimsh, I think they've been some of the best games of professional Hearthstone and high-level tournament Hearthstone that I've ever seen. And we've seen guys like Ari and Dale come through, beat players like Amaz, players like Sixo and Gara, and come through. And now Ari is coming home as a champion, and Dale is going home with $1,000 as well. And coming second in this tournament is certainly no disgrace.
Oh yeah, certainly. I think that both Ari and Dale showed a lot of skills, and it's also refreshing to see the new faces playing control decks instead of mindless aggro. Because right now, after you can say hey, this guy got lucky. Both Ari and Dale, they showed exceptional skills and understanding of the game and of the matchups. I would definitely like to watch more games from those guys. So whenever they are invited or qualify again to any tournament, I will be there watching their games or maybe casting them. That was a lot of fun casting with you, Calum, and casting the tournament. We had amazing games. I definitely agree. We had some fantastic matches in place, and I would do it again.
Absolutely, yeah. Nimsh, thank you so much for casting for the past 2 days. We want to thank D2 as well, who casted with me on Monday through Thursday on the group stage. And I hope his tennis camp went well this weekend. We've had great casters, and we had Lothar and Noxious casted with me in the Challengers League as well. So thank you to them. I guess we just end with this. This tournament was to give people an opportunity who maybe hadn't been seen on the pro scene to come through and prove their mettle, not even in just a single elimination bracket, but through group stages, and really prove their consistency. And that's what we saw from players like Ari and Dale. We want to give a shout out to Retainer Box and to Frodan and Monk as well for all their help from HearthStats and from us. And yeah, I guess I'd finish with a plea to team owners, tournament organizers out there. Watch this final between Ari and Dale and tell me these players don't deserve to be signed to your team or don't deserve to play in your tournament. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Callum Leslie. If you want to find me on Twitter, I'm at CLeslie92. Nimsh, he's over at Nimsh TV on Twitter. And we will be back with HearthStats Season 2 some point in the future. Thank you very much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure.